Today we are going to put the last ranked running back in the entire nation on one of the best teams in the country to see how good their career can turn out if we gave them every opportunity to succeed. We're running with Notre Dame today, one of the 5-star teams into this game, and I guess we could find the successor to Jeremiah Love as we soar by the lowest ranked running back. How about 4,100th in the nation, Joseph Mangum. He is running back 456 out of Norman, Oklahoma. He is about as bad as you're gonna find. A contact seeker. You know, I was worried that we'd have like a blocking running back who's basically just like a fullback hybrid, but we are getting a legitimate running back, and to scout him out, he's gonna have 76 speed, can't catch to save his life, and, you know, of all of his ball carrying attributes, 69 carrying and 68 break tackle are the best he has to offer. So really not all that good, obviously, but we're gonna see what that player is gonna be able to turn into when we make him a 4-year starter. No surprise, he has normal development here at 5'8", 194 pounds, and for his ceiling, I mean, compared to how we did this video before with the quarterback, we did this already with a quarterback, go check that out if you haven't seen it. The ceiling is a little bit better than it was for the quarterback. He's got some abilities to him, and we're going to see how his career pans out. We get started with a 38-0 win over Appalachian State, where he started with 19 carries for 31 yards. We're going to be hopping into close games such as this, 17-24, and here we go, Mangum, and look at that, it's a double-digit yard carry, 12 yards on the play against Wisconsin as they throw the bubble screen outside, and Notre Dame, I want to see, is it going to be possible for them to go all the way to the national championship? But look at Jaden Greathouse with a great play, and he stayed in bounds to take it for the distance and the touchdown as we sim ahead to Wisconsin's possession. They do not get anything going. Now in the Wildcat, I have him starting in every position. I have him as running back, third down back, shotgun back, gadget player. I have him as everything to get him the most amount of touches as humanly possible. And going to Notre Dame, where they do run the ball a decent amount, other than when you have Jeremiah Love and only give him like 10 carries. But look at the deep pass. It's Greathouse again. And look at Jaden Greathouse. What a 2 plays we've seen from him as Wisconsin can't put it in the end zone. And now we turn things over to the run game to try to put it away. A loss of 2 for Mangum, and now thrown over the middle. It's looking like the offense is going to maybe get the job done through the air. Instead, they're going to toss it out. He's only got like 76 speed, but he's finding a little bit of room. 8 yards. There you go. Now a direct snap in. Nowhere to go for CJ Carr as a 2-minute warning has hit, and Carr is stopped. But the defense seals the deal and a victory. So we're going to see if this team, led by this awful rushing attack, can go all the way to a national championship, win a national championship. How far can they get? And it's not only that, it's how far can you get, and how much will you be held back by a bad player in Mangum, and how much can you maybe elevate him to be competent, as Mangum has already had a tough start to his career with some games where he's already had like under 2 yards a carry. Now Florida State and Notre Dame, it's 2-0. Notre Dame, can they find themselves going into the top 25? It's 10-10 on Florida State, and you can see Mangum's got 14 carries for 15 yards. He's in the block here. I guess that's something. I don't know what he's gonna really do in the passing game. I mean, he can't catch. He had 40 catching, and I don't know if he's going to be that much of a good blocker as they're throwing one deep. 1-on-1 and incomplete, intended for Greathouse, and Florida State takes over. And we're going to at least see some defense here as look at Florida State's running back going inside the 30-yard line, and now in position to take this lead. I am going to be really curious, though. Can Mangum get a 1,000-yard season? Is that going to be possible, especially with how he's running? I don't know what his ceiling's looking like. Maybe he can one day hit like an 80 overall, and then when you add coach boosts into that, if you have the right coordinators and the right staff, maybe, just maybe, in like the best outcome possible, he could be like a mid-80s player. And I think that's still pretty impressive for like a last ranked player. I mean, also there's the chance if he has a great season due to just sheer opportunity, he can get his dev trade up. That's a possibility. But I mean, you're gonna have to go and make a couple of runs to the playoffs, put up cumulative statistics. It ain't gonna be an efficient amount of rushing yards. He's definitely gonna have to do it on like 2 yards a carry. But Florida State's gonna seal this game off with another touchdown to put them up by 10, and it will end that way, 20-10. and a loss for Notre Dame, where Mangum averages 0.6 yards per carry. He did break a tackle at least. Now you're taking on Miami. It's not an easy schedule as you go Florida State and Miami back to back. And an incomplete pass. It's 17-10 in the favor of Miami, but Notre Dame with the football as they'll throw to the outside. It's intercepted. And you can't have the passing game fail you. You already have the running game failing. You can't have both aspects of the offense stinking it up as Miami goes 3 and out, but they were in long distance field goal range. They didn't want to try a 54-yarder. They punted it instead. And now Carr in the offense goes back out there. 3rd down and 3. Over the middle, it's incomplete. And Miami back out there on offense. Bubble screen outside. Gets the 1st down to the 35-yard line, and we move ahead after a 7-yard gain on 1st down. Now a big run. Running back's got a lot of room. And hopefully one day we see Mangum have a carry in a game like that. 134 yards. I mean, leave an over-under. You know, I'll drop the over-under for you bettors out there. Over or under 100-yard game throughout this video for Mangum. Will he be able to get a 100-yard game? And if so, will it be on decent efficiency or will it have to happen on like 30 carries as Mangum? There you go, screen. He catches the football and he sort of spins somebody out, kind of. He still got tackled by him, but he got a couple of extra yards off of it. 3rd down and inches. They got out of the backfield. Here's Mangum again. 2 big 1st down catches and getting them into Miami territory. You're still down by 2 scores, though. But you got all your timeouts. 3 minutes to play, and a sack like that's going to hurt you a lot as it's 3rd and 19. And Carr is throwing, and it's going to be short of the line. 4th and 11, though. I mean, it's not impossible if you get the run here, and he does. He threw it short of the line, but Miami dropped everybody back, and he was able to get the catch and run for the 1st down, and now Carr on the run. 1st down to the red zone. Now they're inside the 10. Here you go, Mango, looking for touchdown number 1, and he's 1 yard shy. 2nd and goal, as they're going to throw it out to Mangum. I don't like that decision. You threw it 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage, and you lose 4 on the play, as now it's 3rd and goal. Carr, end zone, touchdown. But Notre Dame, because of some of the issues that they had at the goal line there, had to burn a timeout, and then the onside kick doesn't go their way, and they lose the game 2 in a row. Both, I mean, against tough opponents, Miami especially by 3, but Mangum still struggling to even get 1 yard a carry against these tough teams. But we move ahead to some easier fights and easier matchups. A battle against Purdue is a comfortable victory, where they have Mangum putting up 19 yards, 2 broken tackles. He had a long of 15, which is impressive, I suppose, about an FCS team. 34-3. And Notre Dame, if you're going to want to make the playoffs, you're presuming maybe you need to win out. 24 carries against an FCS team, 34 yards. Oh boy, it's like that's what he's putting up against an FCS team. He is breaking a tackle here as in a game against Stanford. It's 1-3 Stanford, but they're keeping it close as Notre Dame up by 3. 3rd down and 7. A lot of time, all the time in the world at an open man. 1st down, past midfield. And Carr's got him to the 39. Toss it out. I don't know if tossing it to him is ever a good idea. He's going to lose yards on the play. 3rd down and 8 for Carr. And he's throwing over the middle. And a 1st down completion to Greathouse. At least you have this passing attack, guys. Look at that. It's a little pop pass. Mangum completes a pass and gets a 1st down. Let him do some pop passes. Maybe that's how he can get a little bit more XP and more statistics as Carr in the read option's going to get 10. 3rd and inches. They sneak it. 1st down. Can we find the end zone? Mangum, I don't think's done it yet. They're going to fake it to him. Carr is no gain on the play. 4 yards out, and they've ran all this time off the clock as Mangum. He has a touchdown in his 1st of his career. And it's going to put the game away. Notre Dame took that ball with plenty of time to go. Ended up running all that time off and scoring the touchdown. Mangum's first. He had 18 carries for 8 yards, but he had the touchdown. So that's something at least. As in the next game, 35-17 over UNC, as Mangum is going to average about his best game up until this point, about 49 yards after contact, but only 48 rushing yards. A little bit of Ashton Genty stat line for the Raiders there, as 29-10 over Navy. And another victory for the Irish. About 15 carries, 8 yards, and 2 fumbles. Oh my goodness. If Notre Dame's going to want to have a chance at a national championship run and going to the playoffs, you have to win this game. You're 7-2, you're on a win streak, but how about getting back into the top 25 and now taking on a team that, for now at least as it stands, is slated to be in the playoffs. SMU, number 11 in the country, 7-1. They put up a touchdown, a 2-point conversion to cut it down to a 3-point game, as there you go for Mangum, a 10-yard carry. Backup running back checks in the game. I mean, like I said, I have him starting in every running back category to get as many touches as possible. There's just going to be some instances where the backup comes in. I also have injuries turned off just so, once again, he can get as much touches as possible. But for now, I guess the backup is riding out the carries. He's not going to do much. Mangum back in, 3rd and 14, and they'll throw for Greathouse underneath. No first down. They'll get half the yards. They'll punt it away, and now SMU taking over in a position to try to tie this game, maybe take the lead. 6 minutes to play as Jennings throws outside, intercepted by the Notre Dame defense, and they'll have it in SMU territory, and they'll go play action now down the field, and it's incomplete to Greathouse. 3rd down and 7, spreading the field as Carr is going to throw once again to the outside for Greathouse, and this time he's got it. As Jaden Greathouse is putting up numbers right now for this team as they'll throw back in the end zone, double coverage, and that will be a 3rd down failure and a field goal opportunity. Kick is good. Stays a 1-score game, 24-18 with 4 minutes to play. You notice how this team's having the most success when they're doing everything they possibly can to make sure Mangum doesn't touch the football. They've tried to sub in the backup running back. They've thrown it every other play, and Jennings has 4 interceptions, so the defense is doing its job as Carr throws it down the field. Deep ball. It's incomplete. They went for Greathouse again. 3rd down. Carr is going to find a receiver short of the line. But I appreciate trying to just go and launch the football to your star player every single play. But now SMU has an opportunity. Take the lead here. 2 minutes to go. This could be their last chance as they're down to 2 timeouts and Jennings has them into Notre Dame territory. And they'll throw over the middle. 1st down and a gain of 11 to the 29 as now they'll back them up. 2nd down and 10 from the 30. Jennings will let it fly. Knocked away. And it's 3rd and 10. Play action. Jennings immediately sacked. What a play for the defense. 4th down. Game on the line here is Jennings to keep your playoff hopes alive if you're either side. End zone pass. It's caught. Touchdown, SMU. And the extra point gives them the lead. And now they have just 50 seconds to play. And they didn't do a good job with their first couple of plays. 3rd down and 8. 2 timeouts to go. And they'll find a receiver. I think that was Greathouse again. 1st down, 35-yard line, underneath, tight end, catch it right for the 1st down, and Notre Dame will burn that final timeout, but they're maybe 2 plays away from field goal range. Carr is sacked, and that could change everything as they gotta hurry back to the line. 23 seconds of clock running. I think they're going to spike the ball here as they'll have it from the 37. 3rd down and 16. 18 seconds to play. You maybe have 1 shot over the middle, and then you got to spike it. As Carr, there's your shot over the middle. It's incomplete. 4th down and 16 to keep the playoff hopes alive for Notre Dame. They're throwing it deep. It's on Greathouse. He's got it. 8 seconds to play here at a timeout. Got to get back to the line, and they're going to have the clock stop momentarily. But clock is ticking now. 5, 4, 3, and the spike, and they got it off. Field goal for the win at the buzzer. It is good. What an ending for Notre Dame, and they keep the hope alive. And I really gotta say, it's impressive that they did everything they could to not give Mangum the ball ever. He had 11 carries for 30 yards. It's, you know, like it's about efficient of a game he's gonna have. But if they can actually pull this off, another victory. They're at the 16 in the country after this win, and they are really close to being able to claw back into the playoff hunt after a 2-2 start. And they're now sitting at number 17 against the USC, and they're right now losing to a 3-8 USC team. And they need to win this game to have a chance. This is the final game of the regular season, and if they win, they'll most likely move up, but they'll need another couple of teams to lose. You're obviously going to get teams losing in the conference championship weekend. There is opportunity to sneak in the playoffs as Carr down the middle. It's caught. Greathouse touchdown. This is supposed to be a video about the last ranked running back, not Jaden Greathouse. But if you don't know about Jaden Greathouse, he's a pretty fun player, and I think you're getting to see a little bit of that today, as 20-14 USC is going to step up and run the football, and he's getting the first first down, but that's Noah Fafita transferring over in USC. Now at the offensive possession, the first down for a gain of 11, 2 minutes to play, and they need that touchdown. They'll get another 10 yards, second and inches. Fafita is going to go double fake and a sack, as they'll be backed up the 3rd and 7. Screen, don't love that call, and it's not going to work out, only a yard. And now, for the game, potentially a chance to break the hearts of Notre Dame, it's incomplete. And Notre Dame goes and wins their final 8 in a row to maybe sneak into the playoffs at 10-2. You don't have a conference championship, obviously. You're in the independent, so you're just going to have to hope everything plays out the way that you need it to. And it does just that. A couple of weeks of simming in a conference championship weekend, you go to number 9 in the country, and you are headed to the playoffs to take on UCLA. Nico and the Bruins in the playoffs. I didn't promise realism in this video, at least, as right now they are down 13-3 as Nico delivers for a first down, as they are going to go play action underneath. Caught on the run for a solid gain to get into Notre Dame territory. Haven't been able to put up a touchdown on the board quite yet, but they're starting the second half very well. For playoffs, I'm going to be watching the second halves of these games. We don't know how many playoff games we're going to get for Notre Dame. I mean, they made it in year 1, which is impressive, and a touchdown for the Bruins, but I don't know if they're going to be able to make it every single season, especially with this guy, a running back. But look at that, one of the longest runs that we'll see from him, 15 yards, and he actually ran through a defender there. Now he'll throw in on 3rd down. He goes down, sacked, and they'll punt it away to Nico, who's already got it in the end zone on their first drive of the 3rd quarter and looking for more, as Notre Dame's 10-point lead dwindling away with a wide open man, and they're inside the red zone, down to the 11. The tie maybe not good enough for them. They want the lead, as they're going to run right up the middle for 2. 3rd down and 7 for Nico with good protection, back in the end zone, and that was a dangerous ball that very well could have and should have been intercepted. Instead, they'll take the field goal for the tie, and we move on to the Notre Dame possession, who've done basically nothing in this 3rd quarter, as an incomplete pass, 3 and out, and Notre Dame back out there on defense, and Nico gets sacked, loss of 5. They'll get the 5 yards back on 2nd down, but set up 3rd and 10. 3rd quarter winding down, deep pass, Nico, 2 men down there, and it's incomplete. Good job from the Irish defense, gives the football back right at the start of the 4th quarter, and here goes Mangum with the ball carrier vision of DeAndre Swift and Trent Richardson combined. I don't know what the heck that was. 3rd down and 10 and a sack, as it's not always helpful for your passing game to have running backs that just set you up in 3rd down and long situations every single time, as now UCLA in great field position. The run inside Notre Dame's 25-yard line, and now they're into the red zone, and this Irish offense has been just stonewalled in the second half, and the defense hasn't been a whole lot better, as UCLA tackle for a loss, as you can at least try to hold them to a field goal, but it'd be already 10 unanswered, and make it 17 unanswered with a touchdown from Nico, as it's a 7-point lead, and you got to do something here. Pop pass, here you go, Mangum. He lined up out wide, got a pop pass and lost a yard. 3rd and 11. They're trying everything with this dude, and they're going to be short of the line. 4th and 2, they punt it, and this is looking awful for the Notre Dame team, who's already had a 10-point lead at halftime in this playoff matchup, and has just been brutally dominated, as that's incomplete. At least the defense will get a stop. You got 4:40 to go. Maybe you got another chance or 2 at this. Is Mangum first down, loses 3 more. 2nd and 13. At least he picks up a block there, and they find a receiver right up the seam, and finally a big play as they're at the 29. 2nd and 10. Swing it out. Here's Mangum on the catch, and he's got 1. 3rd down and 9. Under 3 to play. They run it with Mangum. Why would you do that? And they'll set for the field goal. It's gonna be no good. I was ready to say it's good. It's no good. 41 yards, and he missed it. As now UCLA, I mean, it still would have been a 1-score game, and you need to see running like that from Mangum. Look at the fight there from UCLA. Notre Dame burning timeouts as he breaks a tackle. 2nd and 10 is going to turn into 3rd down and 5. Nico to the air, looking to seal the game, and it's incomplete. Notre Dame will get 1 more try at it, and a screen for Mangum, and they're trying to give him the ball a lot in the air, and it's not going to do much. Did I read that stat line correctly? Oh my goodness, did that say 10 catches for for 28 yards. What are we doing? Make it 11 catches for Mangum. He gets out of bounds for 8. What in the world is this offense doing? Mangum on the carry, and he's gonna break a tackle. Look at Mangum. Oh, maybe he's a clutch runner of the football, as he got 13 on the play. Carr firing over the middle, and it's Jaden Greathouse to the 20-yard line. They can maybe pull this off to send it to overtime. Carr has got 5, and they got 29 seconds to play from the 15. No timeouts, and a first down here. 5 more yards. Goal to go. They spike it as they go handoff. Backup running back checks in. He gets 6, as now they'll have to hurry it back to the line. Remember, no timeouts. 3rd down and goal, and I think they're going to use this 3rd down to spike it. They're going to give themselves only 1 play from the 4 to tie it up in the playoffs. Carr with time, looking, got to get rid of it, and it's running out of time on the run. Touchdown! Notre Dame, the offensive line was phenomenal, and we're going to overtime. They kicked the extra point. They opt to extend this game. Mangum on the carry. He's got 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 6. They go play action. Carr to the outside, and they are going to get the first down. As what a comeback this would be, as already UCLA went up 17 unanswered. It was looking like Notre Dame was done for. They take that drive all the way down the field, and Mangum is going to put it in the end zone in overtime. And now suddenly Notre Dame with a stop can win this game. Nico finds a receiver, gets the first down, and they got 13 on the play. From the 12, Nico, end zone, touchdown! And they didn't have much resistance as they go first in the 2nd overtime. And they'll run the football, getting 8. As we go to 3rd down and 2 from the 17, Nico gonna get a man underneath it. It's swatted at the line. That's huge. He was wide open, and now the field goal instead is good. The Irish can win it with a touchdown as they'll go handoff. Mangum, as that's going to be a good little run there. He got 7, 3rd down and 2. They're going to keep it to Mangum, and he gets stopped in the backfield. I mean, you really shouldn't be pushing your luck when you get 1 good Mangum run. Field goal's good. We're going to a 2-point shootout. What a game it's been. They go spin option, flip it out. Mangum, he tried to dive in, and he got denied. Bruins chance to win it. Nico gets it to his man, short. And we go to another 2-pointer as UCLA goes first, and Nico to the air. It's caught right at the line, and he's in. Now Notre Dame to keep it alive. They hand it to Mangum, and he's stopped. Not even close. And they go to Mangum in both 2-point conversion plays, and it was an absolute failure. And that is going to be the definition of what this video is kind of all about. How much does a running back like Joseph Mangum hold you back? Because you made the playoffs and almost won a playoff game despite giving Mangum the ball 220 times for only 1.5 yards a carry. And Mangum, if you look at his individual statistics, he touched the football a lot this season. His best game was 49 yards on 22 carries. And he also had 1/3 of his catches almost in that one UCLA game where he had somehow 11 catches. Mangum, he goes up. He's at a 59 right now, all things considered, which it's a pretty big upgrade considering of how bad he was in his first season. We're going to see now if this could maybe get him up to, I don't know, I guess we're looking for 2 yards a carry is the upgrade. I mean, 1.5, I guess only up from here. Look at that, though. 2 touchdowns in his first game of his sophomore season. We move on. As an FCS team, no match for the Notre Dame squad. 33-0. Mangum puts up only 43 yards on 18 carries. He's still not even doing well against these really bad teams. But how about a game here? 27-19 against a ranked 21 in the country, Michigan State. Notre Dame up by 8 with 5 minutes to play as they're going to get stopped on 3rd down, and it will give the Spartans the ball. As Notre Dame always has like an assortment of random good opponents on their schedule. Being in an independent school, you get a variety of teams every single year, and this year you get Michigan State as you are going to have them underneath for a 3rd down and 3. Just under 4 minutes to play. Pass is just flat out dropped. As now Carr in the offense back out there. I want to see them lean on Mangum maybe. 2nd and 4. Here he is on the carry, and he tries to go outside. Just go inside. Just run up the middle, man. You're a contact seeker with like 70-something speed. Just go up the middle. Now Spartans with the football back as they'll go check down to their back. It'll be a gain of 6. 3rd down and 4. as the Spartans find an open tight end for a nice little gain of 8 yards on a first down. We're under 2 minutes to play, and a rush off the edge, a sack is going to get them down. 1:22 to play in 3rd and 15. He's stepping up. He's throwing it down the field. And in one-on-one coverage, it's knocked away. 3rd down and 15 is no go. How about 4th and 15? He's going deep this time, right side of the field. Again, one-on-one. It's knocked away again. And unfortunately, Notre Dame has mismanaged this horribly. Even if you just kneeled the football 3 times, it would have given them the football with just 20 seconds and no timeouts. Instead, they throw the football a couple of times, fail, and now they have the football back with 40-plus seconds of timeout. They're already at the 44-yard line. I don't know what they were doing here, as they're going to throw it deep again, and it's going to be tipped and incomplete. As they're trying to go for the home run. Just keep on trying. They're doing it one more time. He's got a step this time. Touchdown. But the 2-point conversion's what they need to send this to overtime. What a blunder it would be if Notre Dame choked away this game. 2-point conversion. No good. And the Irish with the onside kick are going to survive. Just barely, they survive a huge ranked victory, and they continue to keep the streak alive in the regular season at the very least. 12 yards on 17 carries, but he did have a touchdown. My goodness, he is still horrendous, and it's not getting a whole lot better. 27-14 over Tulane, still holding on to a top 5 ranking in the country. There you go, 63 yards, but the trade-off is you fumble 2 times. So even when you have a decent game, you fumble twice. But 41-11 against Georgia Tech. Now you're up to number 4 in the country. About 2 more touchdowns, 45 yards, but not a whole lot yards for carry-wise. Next game, another victory. It's going to be against Wake Forest. They're putting up points, 44-17. I'd imagine a lot of that is CJ Carr on the offense. 57 yards on 3.1 a carry, and another fumble. He fumbles quite a bit. And now another dominant victory. I mean, it's been dominant victories for this Notre Dame squad. The schedule isn't that hard this year comparative to what it was last season or maybe what we'll see in other seasons. 50 yards and a touchdown here. I mean, it's been pretty consistent at least. That's one thing we can at least say about Mangum. He's consistent. 34-13 for the number 3 ranked Irish, as this one more like his freshman season. 19 carries, 17 yards, but a touchdown. Game against Navy, 37-10. Really not a lot of close games in this sophomore year. We had just the one against Michigan State, but I guess if you're going to roll on to the playoffs, we'll be happy with that. He's up to a 60 overall as well. And now we finally get a close one. It doesn't come until they're already up at 9-0, number 2 in the country. And it's a 6-6 game against Virginia Tech, of all schools, who's sitting here at 4-5. Mangum breaks a tackle, breaks 2, and he'll lose a yard. He's got a whopping 8 yards in this game as Virginia Tech takes the football over, and it's going to be a huge completion. It's been no touchdowns on either side, just field goals and a read option for Virginia Tech inside the 10, goal to go. And you can put them on upset alert. The completion down to the 2-yard line. Upset alert for the number 2 Irish. Touchdown, Virginia Tech. And you got to turn things over to a 4.5-minute drive potentially for this Notre Dame offense to finally find the end zone. It's been 40-plus points. You've seen game after game, 40, 30 points. Just somehow, some way, this game, though, just 6 points, as that's a big completion. Tight end, not enough speed to outrun the rest of the defense, but he'll get them one of their biggest plays of the day. Another RPO, slant route for the receiver. He finds himself at the 11-yard line, and Notre Dame looking for the tie, and that's another RPO, 3 in a row. This one not quite as big, but we'll take the 6-yard gain. 2-minute warning upon us. Read option, Carr looking for the end zone. He's a yard shy of the first down, and a long yard away from the end zone. He tried to pitch it. I think it was a fake pitch. It's 4th down. Game on the line for CJ Carr. End zone incomplete. No, they might actually go down here. First down carry. One more will do it for Virginia Tech. And the Irish burning timeouts. Read option gets a block on the edge and a spin move. And the first down. And the number 2 Irish go down to a below 500 Virginia Tech squad. Thankfully, they at least built up a pretty good ranking to be all the way up at number 2, but they dropped to number 11, and this is not the time you want to lose because you're taking on number 6 Clemson. The toughest opponent was Bryce Underwood in Clemson at the back half of your schedule, and losing to Virginia Tech right before that is about as bad as it gets, because if you go drop 2 in a row here, you could find yourself out of the playoffs. Now, a number 6 Clemson loss isn't going to hurt you nearly as bad. You're not going to drop 9 spots, but right now, you're down by 7, and Bryce Underwood is running on your defense, and Clemson is going to get another nice run. 10 more yards, 2nd and inches, running right up the middle, just destroying this team on the ground. 14-yard line. Underwood has got a completion for 9 more. 6 minutes to play. Handoff, open lane, and a touchdown for Clemson. And that was just too easy. They swing one out to Mangum on 3rd down. It's not going to work. 4th down and 7 for CJ Carr as he's going to have time in the pocket, but I don't think anyone's getting open. Carr's going to run for it, and nice job for Carr. This Carr is like pretty nice. Like, he's playing pretty well given the circumstances. He's getting sacked. It's hard to play well, though, when you're in 3rd down and 12, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 every single drive because you can't run the football at all as they get a 1st down there. 3:40 to play. I mean, you're down by 14. Maybe you could try to hold on to these timeouts. Get a quick drive, but you got to get down the field first. Then it's 3rd and 7 as he'll throw for a completion and a 1st down to the 40-yard line, hurrying back as he got 3 minutes to go, stepping up, a lot of time, typical Notre Dame offensive line stuff as that's going to be a completion for 21 yards, and you're at the 6-yard line from 3rd and 3, Carr, and one more time, out of the backfield, tight end, block and release on a 1st down and goal, 2-minute warning hitting, can you hold on to those timeouts and score? Yes, you can, touchdown! And you give yourself a chance. Can you get a stop? Clemson, 1st down, completion, Underwood, 1st down, but he gets out of bounds, so no harm done if he got out of bounds. As now it's a 1st down and 10 again. Underwood on the run! It's intercepted! Bryce Underwood, what are you doing? That's an awful play! You just handed Notre Dame a chance in this one with 1:46 to go. Carr to the air, still all the timeouts. Great field position. Mangum out of the backfield. Hey, good job fighting for. We'll take 5 yards there. 1:28 to go. Mangum on the carry. Runs right in number 11 for the Clemson defense. 4th down and 4 now as Mangum, too many touches for him, hasn't resulted in much success, but he's got time. He's got a receiver. He's inside the 10. And now they're burning timeouts at the 36-second mark. 10-yard line, 2nd and goal. End zone, touchdown. We are all tied up and we're going to overtime. What a comeback. That was really just handed to you by a Bryce Underwood pick. 3rd down and 9 to start this overtime for Notre Dame, and they're going to have to go settle for the field goal, and the kick is going to be good. Can the defense stop Clemson completely, or will the Tigers go and put it in the end zone for the victory to escape with the win? 10 yards at a 1st down on the first play, 15-yard line for Underwood, over the middle, and a golden goal situation, and now it's really dire. Bryce Underwood, outside wide open, touchdown! And Clemson is able to survive at the very end. And that is a very brutal loss for the Irish because their playoff hopes are really close to fading away completely. Mangum actually had like his best game. 76 yards on 5 a carry? What the heck happened there? As now they go and they somehow moved up a spot. I mean, I guess it was, against the number 16, but they moved up a spot, took care of business against a Stanford team, and then Mangum, about 90 yards. What's going on here? Mangum, I think he's finally breaking out or something. Notre Dame's on to the playoffs. They still end up number 6 in the country, which is pretty crazy considering they lost 2 of their final games. But yeah, they're in the playoffs and they're taking on Florida Atlantic, who's number 11. So not a bad first matchup for them. There's definitely much harder you can get. It's 14-7 as halfway through the 3rd quarter is where we pick things up as Notre Dame with a touchdown. It was 14-0 at half, and I was worried that this was going to be a blowout, but Florida Atlantic did put it in the end zone. And then I decided to hop in, so Notre Dame immediately gets a touchdown right back at them, and with 2 minutes to go in this quarter, look at the run right up the middle, and look at Florida Atlantic just running through the defense. How about a 73-yard touchdown? And I wasn't expecting that, but here we are in a 1-score game once more. And, well, Mangum has to come onto the field, and no, he'll probably never run for a 70-yarder in his life. Irish immediately gets stopped, and we take over. FAU can maybe pull something off here. Pass is going to be tipped up in the air, and a diving interception! What a play! And that's one of the best interceptions you'll see all year. That was incredible. And Notre Dame, that may have flipped everything right into their favor. Mangum with the carry, and it wasn't an atrocious carry. It was 6 yards, and we might be on to something here. Mangum is gonna get stopped and lose 4 of those yards immediately. 3rd down and 8, 9.5 to go as Carr is pressured and sacked, but it will still be, with this field goal try, a 2-score game. And that interception did its job and really halted the momentum of this Florida Atlantic team, as they are going to have to go out there and put points up on the board and hope that they can have some things go in their favor. As a deep pass, he's open, and he breaks the tackle. Touchdown! What is this offense doing? I mean, I guess they deserve to be here in the playoffs, because that's 2 huge plays in this game to really give them a chance. Mangum with a 7-yard carry. We go to 3rd down and 2. They're riding Mangum, and he's gonna get stopped. When you go and give Mangum the ball too many times in a row, that's what happens. And if Florida Atlantic can tie this game up somehow, some way, this will be one heck of an upset. Handing it off right up the middle for the 1st down, as even though you thought maybe that interception was going to be the end of them, they have battled back, and now a 12-yard completion. 5.5 to play. 3rd down and 8 as a throwing intercepted, and that might do it. The 4th of the game for the defense, as it's just maybe a little too much to overcome, as Carr is going to have it right down the middle, and they're in field goal range firmly. Pop pass, stop for a loss. Touchdown could probably end this, but a field goal will put the pressure on Florida Atlantic even more, as they'll get 10 yards, 3rd down and 4. 3.5 to play. Carr is going to go underneath. There he is, Mangum! 1st down completion to him, and it's 2nd and 7. Mangum is going to try to power. He's down to the 1. 3rd and inches. Carr sneaks it in. Touchdown. And that might be all they needed to put it away. As we move ahead, Florida Atlantic did drive the ball down to the 30-yard line here, as they go incomplete pass. 4th down and 4. They settle for the field goal, which means they're going to have to rely on the onside kick. They would have had to do it regardless, but they'll take the field goal first. Onside is scooped up, and Notre Dame, a really good fight from Florida Atlantic, but not enough. And they will win it 31-24. Move on to the next round. Mangum goes for 48 yards on 20 carries. A pretty standard game for them. They go take on Duke in the Fiesta Bowl. Number 6 versus number 3. 10-10 is your score at the halfway mark. And here goes Mangum for a carry. And he's got 7 for 43 so far. It's actually been pretty nice. And look at Mangum. Nice run. And it's going to be 10 more yards for him. 2nd and inches. Could we have a career day from Mangum in the playoffs? That could be. If you go and get a good performance out of him, you got no excuse. This is the only thing holding you back. Mangum, that's going to be another 6. He's averaging over 6 yards a carry. 3rd down and 5. Carr, open man, tight end, 1st down to the 30-yard line. And maybe this is the only game where I can ever say, actually, hey, give it to Mangum. He's doing something here. Maybe Duke's defense is just that bad, but I struggle to believe you made the playoffs with this bad of a defense, as that's going to be a completion all the way down to the 1. Goal to go. They sub the backup in, and he gets the touchdown. Come on. Let Mangum get one. He's got, like, barely any touchdowns in his career, despite having like almost 500 touches on his career by now, I feel like. But 3rd down and 3 for Duke. That's a completion. 1st down right at about midfield. This is 3rd quarter. It's down to 4 minutes to play, as Duke down the field, wide open. And a gain of about 30 yards on the play. Red zone opportunity right down the same. Tight end fighting through everybody. Touchdown Duke. And they take themselves all the way down to the end zone immediately and tie this game up. Mangum, look at another run for Mangum. Double-digit yards. It's 13 on the play. What a game for Mangum. Could he have his first career 100-yard game in the playoffs of all places? As they go 1st down and 10. Over the middle. That's caught. And the tight end's getting loose. And a Notre Dame tight end having a big game and a big moment. What do you know? It's another thing we're used to from Notre Dame. As they're in the red zone, 14-yard line. They go Mangum's way. Another very solid carry, but he fumbled and they thankfully recovered. I was really about to start complimenting Mangum even more, but he fumbled it. Thankfully, they kept it. Carr not able to get the first down, though. And it'll be 4th down and 2, starting the 4th quarter off with a field goal. It is good, but man, just when Mangum's having like his best game, he fumbles the football. Thankfully, luckily for him, they recovered it. But 3rd down and 8 for the Notre Dame defense, up by 3. And over the middle, that's going to be caught again. And Duke, some really big passing plays in these key moments. Another 3rd down and another pass that seemingly could have been enough, but it's not going to be reeled in. 4th down and 7. They punt this football, and look at the punt. That is beautiful, down to the 2-yard line, and it's going to be a long field. Mangum is not going to be able to get yards. He does stay out of the end zone, though. Now they're backed up at the 1 as they go RPO. Look at that risky play as you're going to get a 28-yard gain, though. Risky play pays off as that pass now, 2nd and 4, get the first down. Carr's over 300 yards on the day, and they'll go Mangum's way on the sweep. He's still so slow, but even slow Mangum's getting 7 yards on a sweep. They'll go double fake, and an unblocked defender gets the sack. 3rd and 11 for Carr as they send the extra man, find the tight end, and a first down. And Notre Dame so close to being able to pull this one off. The drive has been amazing. And that pass over the middle is also caught. Running some clock. What a drive. Mangum up the middle. He's got 5 more. 3rd and 2, Notre Dame. They go to Mangum and he stopped. 4th and 4. They're going for it, though. This is a really bold call, and it works out. And now 1 first down can end the game. Mangum to the edge. Mangum is going to fumble it out of bounds. He got 7, though. 3rd and 3 as he's going to get stopped shy. And on 4th down, they're going for the win. They want to end it. Mangum, no! They wanted to end it so bad on that drive. They went for it on 4th down twice. And instead of kicking a field goal to go up by 6, they wanted to put an end to it. And now Duke's got a chance. Field goal can tie. Touchdown can maybe even win this game. 1:22 to go from the 32-yard line. Pass to the outside's caught. Duke's offense picking up right where they left off. Big pass play after big pass play. And there's another one as he's going to go all the way to the 25. They're in field goal range. And now you're thinking, are they going to score a touchdown and win this game? Another open man, another big play. It's goal to go. Duke, screen, got a completion, and they are down to the 6. There's just 22 seconds to go. Throwing the football underneath, short of the end zone. It's 3rd and goal. They have no timeouts. 17 seconds from the 2. I think they're going to spike it and kick a field goal here. I would have loved to see if they would have taken a shot, but they're going to just spike it. 9 seconds, no timeouts. They will kick the field goal. And we're headed to overtime in another playoff game as they go play action. Carr with the ball first. They get 8 yards to start things off. 3rd down and 1. Carr swings it out to Mangum, and he's not going to get there. I don't love the checking down as the field goal was almost blocked. It's good. And now Duke can win it with a touchdown. This would be a devastating loss. Duke immediately, 1 play, down to the 1. He might have even gotten it there, but they'll have to get 1 more yard. He stopped at the goal line. 2nd and goal from the 1 again as they pass it in. Touchdown. And Duke is going to steal it at the end. And that is brutal as they had that game. Notre Dame got the ball at their own 2-yard line, drove it down the field so much and did everything that they could. 1 4th down conversion would have ended it. Instead, they lose the game. Mangum, though, had his best game in the playoffs. How about upping his yards, though, all the way to 700 yards, 8 touchdowns. He had 200 through the air, 2 more touchdowns. So, I mean, cumulatively, almost 1,000 all-purpose yards and 10 touchdowns. And, again, he had his best game in the playoffs. 93 yards on 4 a carry. And he actually, despite only having 2.9 a carry, upgrades his dev trait to impact dev. So, that's cool. I mean, I don't know why he did. I don't think he had a great season, but I guess cumulative statistics will do that for you. And he's up to about a 72 overall right now. And his speed is competent a little bit. And he's able to do some things at least. He is at least a rosterable running back at this point, and we get to hop into his junior season where they're looking for a little bit of redemption, mainly against this Virginia Tech team that beat them. And if they would have beaten this Virginia Tech team last season at the end of the year, their only loss would have been to a number 6 Clemson team. They probably would have gotten a first-round bye, and instead they had to go, and that's how they ended up playing Duke. But they do win a game against this Virginia Tech squad. A close one. They had to get a couple of first downs to seal it, but Mangum starts off his junior campaign with 31 yards and, you know, typically doing his usual stinking it up business. Number 18 Pitt is going to lose this one 28-7. 44 yards and a touchdown. Mangum, I'm waiting to see him have just something, but we get into a really tough game here. How about 15-7 against the number 7 team in the country, Texas? It's going to be another big test in this Notre Dame team's career, and the biggest test of Mangum's regular season for this junior year, potentially. I do find it impressive that they have made the playoffs twice and have had 2 double-digit win seasons despite having Mangum at a 50 overall and, you know, 58 overall, like that they've been able to get there. So you'd have to think with him at a 71 overall and continuing to get up, that he's got impact development, so he's going to be getting better a little bit faster. They should be all right at this point. Like I said, he is a rosterable running back. Not good, but rosterable, which is more than what we could say about the previous 2 years. So let's see how much better can things really get, because going into freshman season being a 51 to going into sophomore being a 58, that's not a huge jump up as Texas puts it into the end zone here. But going up from 58 at the start of a sophomore season to 71 at the start of a junior season, a plus 13, that's huge. Texas, though, we pick things up 5 minutes to play in a tie game as Mangum with the carry. He's still not all that athletic and shifty. 3rd down and 11 after a loss on the play. Carr is going to go short of the line, and even if he broke 2 tackles, I don't think he was getting that first down as Texas takes over and goes underneath as they were down by 8, put it in the end zone, got the 2-point conversion, and now they're putting the pressure on the Irish because they're getting a first down here right at midfield, and they're in prime position to win this game. And a huge win it would be between, you know, these 2 teams that are 7 and 8 on the board for the top 25. A first round bye implications are the type of stuff that we have on the line here early on this season. If Notre Dame can go and sweep their schedule, but I don't think it's going to happen with a touchdown. No, I don't think he got in. I think they stopped him at the 1. They did, but that was a huge play. Right to the 1-yard line, right option, and a touchdown for Texas. That was an incredible effort to get him down at the 1. But it was still going to need a whole lot more of an effort to even stop him from getting a touchdown altogether, as Mangum drilled, loses yards again, as now a minute to play. Texas's defense is not going to be off the field and done quite yet. A big first down for Carr. 53 seconds to go as Carr finds a man and a first down in a big gain. 38-yard line, 48 seconds to play underneath. There goes another completion for 7 yards as Carr, 38 seconds to play. 3rd down and 3. Throw an interception right at the defender. And you kind of just blew that one at the end in the 4th quarter. You held them to 7 points going into the 4th, and then you allow 15 at the end. And, I mean, maybe you didn't deserve the win because you only put up field goals. They didn't even put the ball in the end zone. Mangum has a rough game. But, hey, one cool thing about the C.J. Carr, 3 years in a row at quarterback, so at least some continuity there. It's going to be maybe tough next year without him. But look at Mangum. How about 87 yards, 2 touchdowns? He did fumble the football again, but hey, we'll take that. We'll take that for sure. FCS team taking care of business there. Good that we always get the one little, you know, tune-up game. Is 74 yards and a touchdown. At least he's performing competently against an FCS squad. Next game, how about Colorado State? 35-0. Back-to-back shutouts as Notre Dame climbing their way back to the top 10. How about 6.5 yards a carry, 85 yards on the game. Purdue, they're going down 51-6, so just 6 points allowed in 3 games cumulatively. 3 touchdowns for Mangum. That's a career day in the end zone. As we move to Stanford, another rivalry game. Notre Dame feels like they're playing a rivalry game every week. How about 3 points allowed? That's actually kind of crazy. 4 games, 9 points allowed. Not the toughest opponents, but still really impressive. 4 yards a carry for Mangum. About 5 in a row. Is it another single-digit game? No, not quite. 13 points But even still, the tally is what, 5 games, 22 points? Yeah, you could go and win a national championship with that. Mangum, at least he's having a consistent 3+ yards a carry. Navy, 42-8. Notre Dame, all the way back up to number 2 in the country after some bye weeks and wins. Mangum also puts up his first 100-yard game, as it's 103 yards and a touchdown for him against Navy. So, I mean, that stretch of weeks, dominant defense, and the run game, I mean, he averaged like 3+ yards a carry like all of those games. Like, that was really good stuff. So we'll take that. I mean, and I'm saying really good stuff. I'm saying for his standards in general, averaging like 3.5 yards a carry is still pretty bad. But compared to what we started, the starting point was, the bar was under ground zero at that point. So, I mean, we've come a long way. And now at 9-1, number 2 in the country, they're taking on Clemson again. They weren't able to beat Clemson last year, but they don't got to deal with Bryce Underwood this time. It's 17-14. Clemson is going to throw. And over the middle, caught. And touchdown, Clemson. Notre Dame, if they could take care of business in this game, could be looking at a first-round bye, because their last game of the season isn't quite as difficult, I believe. But if they take care of business today, they will have their opportunity to have a first-round bye, which would be massive. If not, though, they could be getting knocked out as Carr puts it on the ground. He recovers it, as I think they did overturn that, so they will get a couple of yards back. 3rd down and 15, still going to be incomplete regardless, and things are looking a little rough. 21-17 as the punt. Speaking of rough, what was that? That was like a 15-yard punt. It's impressive how bad punters are in this game. As an interception, they just tried to check it down, and the quarterback can't track him down, and the Notre Dame defense comes up huge, pick 6. And this defense has been carrying this team for weeks, and even though they've allowed 21 points, which is, combined the last 5 weeks before was 22 points. 21's pretty big, but against a ranked Clemson team, it's not too much of a worry, especially if your defense could go and get you a pick 6 on the other end and help your offense out. But now Clemson with a big run, juke move inside the 30 to the 27-yard line, and they're in the spot to tie this thing up as they go RPO. It's going to be a touchdown, but there's a flag on the field, and this one I think is coming back, and a huge swing. They call pass interference, so receiver was getting a little too handsy down the field. They'll back him up 2nd and 21, and a loss on the play. No, they'll get back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 21 regardless, though. The difference between 3rd and 21 and 22, not too big, as it's a stop regardless. 4th and 15, they'll go for the game tying field goal. It is no good. And Clemson is still going to be down on the scoreboard. We get the football back, and Mangum is going to have 2. 2nd down and 8. Back to Mangum. Finds a little lane, and he'll get about 6 yards. 3rd down and 2. One more time for Mangum to seal it, and he's not going to get there. So now with 1.5 minutes to go, Clemson will have another try at it. The long field goal wasn't able to get the job done last time, but they'll have one more try to get it into overtime, where we've seen these two in overtime last season. As the deep pass incomplete, it's 4th and 16, and Clemson, it could be all over for them as they'll throw to an open man. No, it's not done. And the first round bye for Notre Dame could be slipping away. If they let it happen again, he's in field goal range, and it's even closer this time. 17 seconds, they'll run the football despite having no timeouts, and he gets brought down at the 3. They'll try the field goal, chip shot to send it to overtime. He missed it again. 20-yard field goal, and he missed it. And Notre Dame survives, as Mangum goes for 68 yards, almost 5 a carry, does fumble it again, but a final game of the season against USC, a victory, 11-1, and say hello to your first round bye if you're Notre Dame. 74 yards on 5.2 a carry for Mangum. Like, these are like competent numbers. Notre Dame ends up as the 3 seed. They will be moving on to the Orange Bowl to take on Boise State, who won their first round matchup. We've seen steady improvements from this Notre Dame team. It was, a one and done in year 1. Then in year 2, they won 1, lost 1. Now in year 3, first round bye. If they win one here, they'll be on to the semifinals. So steady improvement will tell you that we can win this game, move on to the semifinals. Right now, you're in control 14-7 with the football in the second half. Mangum burst down carry as he is sitting there at a pretty disappointing 2+ yards a carry. As Mangum, they go running through a defender. and a first down. There you go. Now you up the carry yards per carry up to like 3+. So a little bit more respectable. It's what we're more used to for Notre Dame this season, at least, as they go read option. I think you actually should have handed it to Mangum, and that's going to be a stop. 4th and 5. They go for it. I don't know about that one, but I guess it's going to work out. And they're inside the 10, down to the 5. I'm very pro go for it, but that was a risky one that I wouldn't have done, but it does pay off, and a touchdown for Notre Dame. So they will get themselves a 14-point lead, as the first 4 minutes were a very good first 4 for Notre Dame, and now they turn it over to the Boise State offense, who's looking for a response and back-to-back first downs to get him to the 47-yard line. 2nd down and 7 as they go underneath. He'll get 6, 3rd down and 1. They'll sneak it, 1st down, and Boise moving the football well as they go fake on the draw over the middle, and another first, and the air is getting them first after first. They're at the 23-yard line. 2nd down, find a man underneath, turns it upfield, gets the first down again, and they're at the 11. So Boise, what a drive. To cut into a 1-score game, they need to find the end zone. They get 6 yards on that play. 2nd and 4. Short pass, checking it out of the backfield, and he'll get 2 more. 3rd and 2 from the 4. Ground game stopped. And that, all of that, a near 6-minute drive. All those first downs, and you only end up with 3 points, and you're still down by 2 scores. That is brutal. And that is really going to be the difference here, especially if Notre Dame can find the end zone again to make it a 3-score game. I don't think you'll be able to come back if you're down by 18 in this one, as that's a very dangerous pitch. I don't know why you do that. You just set Mangum up to lose 5 yards on that play. That's on Carr, not even on Mangum at that point, as Boise takes the football back. Now they're in a spot where, because they got to stop, you get a field goal here once again at least. You cut it down to a 1-score game, and a big run for the Boise ground game. 26-yard line, that's field goal range. Screen, find yourself more, and you got 8. Red zone opportunity, 5.5 to go. Run game, 1st down, and you're at the 11. As they'll go man in motion, fake the pop pass, free rusher off the edge, and a sack. And that is a devastating pressure and sack as he's looking again. He gets through the line, slides for 8, and 3rd and 10 from the 11. Can they get the touchdown first? He'll throw it. He wants it. 1-on-1, incomplete. And they'll be in a 4th and 10, kick the field goal once more, and it will be a 1-score game. 8-point deficit for Boise as they kick off. 4 minutes to play as the return for Notre Dame. A spin move, and he'll get to the 35, so a really solid return. And you got to think any points here on this drive should seal it, as look at Mangum getting to midfield, a 15-yard run. Now 2nd and 5 as Carr, play action, a lot of time. He can run for it. He's not going to run. He should run. He'll eventually throw it. It's completed. I guess you got me there. I was really thinking he should have ran it, but eventually he found somebody. A pop pass, Mangum to the edge. It's Mangum. Touchdown. And look at Mangum on a playoff ceiling touchdown potentially with just 2 minutes to go. And he finally has enough speed to where he can make a play like that. It's still not high speed. I think his speed's like 82 or something, but it's better than like the 78 we started with or something like that. It's a big enough difference at least. So a minute and a half to go. They're completing a pass, but it's looking rough because they've already burned a timeout, so you're relying on an onside kick if you find the end zone, and you're not even going to do it. Intercepted by Notre Dame, and they will go on to the semifinals. 1 step away from a national championship, and Mangum gets the pop pass all the way for a touchdown. 61 yards on the ground as well. He's up to a 73 overall, and they're taking on Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl. So we got 1 more step for a national championship. Can they do it now that Mangum is playable and he's not a complete stinker as he's getting the carry here? They'll get right to the line, and I think they gave him the 1st down. 2nd down and 12 as we go to a sack, and Carr loses 4. 3rd down and 16. Carr, he'll throw in the face of pressure, and that's a great ball completion. As this 10-7 low-scoring game, Notre Dame in position to tie this thing up, as they are going to get another 1st down. Now to the 25 after a loss on first down, but they find a wide open man. Tight end, not quite there. It's 3rd and 1. They go, sneak it, first down to the 12-yard line. Counter run for Mangum, and he's just met for a loss of 2. Can't make anybody miss in the open field. 3rd and 11 for Carr, as he will get hit as he's throwing, gets the football out of bounds. They'll have to settle for the game-tying field goal here. It's a lot of time on that drive. We're down to 3 minutes in the 3rd as Oregon with the ball. They will run. Oregon 7 yards on the play as we go to the 32-yard line. Play action for the Ducks as they'll step up and throw one to the outside. And a nice completion for the first. As now 2nd and 13 after a loss on the run play, and they'll go to a 12-yard completion to get it right to 3rd and 1. They'll try to sneak it. He can't get it, and they punt on 4th and inches. I don't hate many things more than a 4th and inches punt, but we'll take it as Carr runs for a 9-yard gain. 3rd down and 1. It's a long 1 yard. They'll go to Mangum, and they were just completely ready. If that was a read option, which I don't think it was, I think it was just a straight handoff, but if it was a read option, then Carr should have kept that one because Mangum had no chance there. As we go to 3rd down and 5, Oregon already getting inside the Notre Dame territory, and not only that, they're in real scoring position here with just a couple of plays. As another pass to the outside, they're in the red zone. 3rd and 1, 7:20 to go in the 4th quarter. It's been a fast-moving game. Intercepted at the goal line. And the good news is it's Notre Dame football. The bad news is it's at the 1-yard line. But Mangum, nice run to get 7 yards through contact to get them away from the danger zone as Mangum, first down carry. There you go. 2 carries, 15 yards, back to back. Go to Mangum again. He's going to spin away Mangum. Okay, that's 8 more. That's a nice series of runs. Keep it to him. Mangum, first down. This is like the best 4-carry run he's ever had. 3rd down and 6, though. They eventually take it out of his hands, get the first down through the air, and it's at the 42-yard line. Mangum play action. He picks up the block. They'll go to the receiver, breaks a tackle, and this Notre Dame drive has found themselves all the way to the Oregon 38, throwing for another completion. The run, the pass, the play action, it's all coming together. 2nd and 4, Mangum, first down, step forward, Mangum, inside the 10, down to the 8, and Mangum with his best run that we've seen as the backup checks in to the 5-yard line. They get Mangum back in their 2nd down, swing it out to him. I hate this. He's able to break the tackle but go out of bounds. 3rd down and goal from the 9. Screen. They want Mangum with the ball, and he's not getting anywhere. That was still impressive that from the 1-yard line, they went all the way inside the Oregon 10. Still, though, just a field goal to give Oregon a wide open opportunity to at the very least tie this game. 8 yards. At the 2-minute warning, now we go with a bubble screen. Oregon first down. As at the 32-yard line, you're looking at maybe, 25 yards for field goal range, and that's all of them in one play. That is going to be way more than 25. That's a gain of 36. As now Oregon inside the red zone. And it could all come together for Oregon to go to the national title at the 7. 52 seconds to play. They're taking their time. RPO outside, reaching, 1st and goal. Timeout Oregon, 4-yard line as he has a man in the end zone. Touchdown. Oregon takes the lead with under a minute to play. And now with 42 seconds to go, I don't know about giving the ball to Mangum on a carry. You need a touchdown. You're not burning a timeout. 2nd down and 6. Check it to Mangum. What are we doing? As they finally burn a timeout, but there's 20 seconds to play. First down there, that's good at least, but there's 13 seconds to go. You need a Hail Mary potentially. As that pass, you're in Hail Mary range. 9 seconds to go. Maybe 2 shots at the end zone if you want to take it. Instead, they'll try to quick one, and it's picked off. Oregon takes it back the other way, and this game is over. Mangum makes the tackle, but Oregon wins the game, and they will head to the national championship. Notre Dame, Carr, his career ends like that, but I will say Mangum had a really good effort in that 4th quarter. He ends up this season with about the same amount of carries, but how about 938 yards, 9 touchdowns, and getting 5 receiving touchdowns as well. So, 3.6 a carry is not great, but he almost had 1,000 rushing yards, and he had a 100-yard game. And we go to the next season where we look at what his overall is. He's almost fully maxed out, and he's sitting here at a 79 overall. He needs a little bit more on the power. I think like with, you know, a little bit more boost, he could be like 80 plus. Alabama, meanwhile, we start the senior season. It's a dominant game, but Mangum has maybe his best game of his career, 96 yards and 2 touchdowns on 12 carries. Unfortunately, no CJ Carr, but we'll see how the rest of this team is able to do with Notre Dame winning against Syracuse. And Mangum, you know, 2 fumbles, 2 yards a carry. That's not what we want to see, but still they get the job done regardless. Against USF, 34-17 your score as Notre Dame sitting around the 16th team in the nation. 79 yards and a touchdown for Mangum. We're trying to push for that 1,000-yard season as we have another game against Texas. So last season they lost to Texas. I think it was their only loss of the season until the Oregon game. And now Texas sitting here at number 1 in the country again. It's 20-17. Can they get a little bit of revenge on this Texas squad as Mangum is at about 70 yards and he's going to get the carry and they'll lose yards. 3rd and 8. I don't think it's ever really a good idea to run the football like that in that situation, but look at Notre Dame, bad pass and a pick, and that's going to get them huge field position and a field goal opportunity if they get stopped as Mangum's going to lose 3. 3rd down and 9. They run it again with Mangum. I don't know who they think this dude is. He gets 2 more yards. I guess CJ Carr being gone means Mangum's the leader, the captain, he's the guy. I mean, he's got like so many touches in his career. I mean, he's carried the football like 250 times every season, so I guess he's the experienced one. He's the veteran at least. Maybe his leadership can help them win this game. They're up by 6 with 5.5 to go. Texas 3rd down at 24. A lot of time, but not a lot of space as he's going to be only halfway there and they'll punt the football away. 5 minutes to go as they'll throw for a 1st down. A field goal here could really just put an end to this one already because with 4 minutes to play, you take your time, you get a field goal here, you go up by 2 scores. It's going to be hard to make a comeback in this one as it's 3rd down and 2. Designed rollout, open man, he catches that one, and we get to tick more time off the clock as 2nd and 7. Mangum is not going to get anything. 3rd down and 7. They'll keep it on the ground, and Mangum, he sheds 2 tackles, but still loses yards. I mean, the blocking is not great, but a field goal, that is going to be good, and a 2-score lead with under 3 minutes to play. That is massive as Texas has to do a lot if they want to come back in this one. It's going to be an onside kick is what they need if they score because they're already down to 1 timeout trying to get the football back as a sack. 3rd and 17. Texas throwing outside, and it's going to be caught short, but 4th down and 5 at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep things going with a nice completion, but as long as they tackle them inbounds, make them take their time, and really at the end of the day, just recover an onside kick if they score. It's okay as they are going to get to the 16-yard line. 3rd down and 6 with 1:20 to go underneath. 4th down situation again. And another 4th down try. More time off the clock. And this ball's caught at the 2. But Texas, so much time gone. Sack, it looks like. And they finally do get him down. 41 seconds to play from the 12. 3rd down and goal after the spike. And they'll throw it out of bounds. And I think, yeah, they're going to just take the field goal now and just pray for an onside kick and a Hail Mary, basically. So, onside kick. And there it is. A little bit of revenge from last year. Notre Dame takes out number 1 Texas on the road. What a victory. And that will move them up big time right back in the national title contention. 68 yards on the ground for Mangum. And we move on ahead to rack up some more victories. How about NC State? 34-15. Honestly, only moving up 5 for beating the number 1 team in the country. Don't love that. Only like 5 or 6 spots moved up, but Mangum, 2 touchdowns. How about moving on again? Another game, this one at home, and it's a victory over Texas State. 45-14. And for Mangum, how about a 100-yard game, the 2nd of his career, and a touchdown for him. Clean game, good yards per carry, and taking care of business against USC, beating USC like every single time. As Mangum not going to be able to put up 100 yards, but we'll take 87 on 5.4 carry. We'll ignore the fumble and just keep on moving forward. Navy, 23-13, a little bit closer, but Notre Dame finding themselves at number 5 in the country, and Mangum has a horrendous day, 1.7 a carry. But moving once more. This time, we got Georgia Tech, and this one's actually a close game. 17-17. We're 7-1 on the season, so you're number 4 in the country with 4 games left. The first round bye is in sight if you could just take care of business, but a 3-5 Georgia Tech team is putting them on upset alert as it's 3rd down and 16 for Georgia Tech in this tie game, and the completion, and he's not going to be able to get there, but he gets all the way to 4th and 3. They still don't go for it, and they'll punt as they hand off to Mangum. It's tackled for a loss of 2. Mangum, I feel like the team is just kind of worse this year. CJ Carr gone. The offensive line hasn't been blocking nearly as good. So this feels like the worst of the Notre Dame teams, but this is also the best Mangum is. So I guess it balances out, and that's why Notre Dame's sitting here at 7-1, because they don't have a complete dumpster fire running back. They just have a not good running back as the sack comes in, and the defense once again does its job. At least the defense is doing its thing. As Georgia Tech on 3rd down and 18. He's going to throw it deep down the field, and it's over everybody's head. Another punt. 4 minutes to play for Notre Dame as they're going to get a first down. And moving the chain, 2nd down and 5 as they're going to throw over the middle. That's caught, and a broken tackle. And he's going to be, maybe 5 to 10 yards away from field goal range. That's what you're looking for to try to wrap up this game and escape as a deep pass. No, it's intercepted. And Georgia Tech with a nice return. You can't let that happen. And now with 2 minutes to play, Georgia Tech is in control and firmly upset alert. It's watching. Everybody's watching this one because this would be a big domino to fall in the college football playoff hunt as Notre Dame allowing another first down. Another 10 yards at Georgia Tech's in field goal range now. 1:44 to go. And Notre Dame takes it away with an interception. So both teams in clutch situations turn the football over, and now Notre Dame gets another chance to win this in regulation. A 6-yard gain sets up 3rd down and 4 as they'll throw, and a lot of time, and they're gonna throw an interception. Come on, that is just bad. That was a bad decision, a bad throw. You had time, and now Georgia Tech, are they gonna fumble it away a 2nd time with another turnover? I don't know. I don't think so, but they'll throw it down the field, and it's caught. Now at the 5 minute to play, throw it outside, and just for good measure, they'll get the touchdown. And Georgia Tech with the lead, 40 seconds to play for Notre Dame, and this is dire situation. Timeout, that's their final one used. They're at the 40 now. They'll throw 2nd and 6, and they'll have a receiver over the middle, but you got to run up, spike this ball. They do. 22 seconds to play from the 47. Underneath, and you're not going to be able to get out of bounds, even though he breaks the tackle, and he does. That was clutch. You give yourself another chance if you want to go down the field with a couple of shots, as they'll throw an interception. Come on. This quarterback is nowhere near as good as CJ Carr. And a pick 6, as it really didn't matter, but it's going to make the final score look a little bit worse. 31-17, and a massive upset. Notre Dame loses their 2nd game of the season. Mangum actually played fine and averaged decent yards per carry. He just didn't get a lot of carries, but see if we can wrap up this season. Notre Dame fell all the way to 12, but they dominate 34-3 over a ranked Florida State team. So they are still very much in the playoff hunt if they can just win their final 2. They do against Wake Forest, 40-13, number 11. And in the final game of the season, Mangum, though, had 87 yards and a touchdown. So we'll shout him out when he gets those good games under his resume, on his belt, getting those games where you see a rare 5+ yards per carry. But the final game of the season, of course, it's going to be a close one. Notre Dame moved all the way up to 7 in the country. Loss here, they're probably out. I don't think they'll be able to maintain, being in like the top 11 is what they're going to have to be if they lose to an unranked Stanford team. If they win this, though, they are definitely in, and they even have a chance to get a first-round bye if they win and some other things kind of fall in their place over conference championship weekend. So 16-16 with under 5 to go. Mangum on the carry, first down into the red zone, and now they're at the 8-yard line. 2nd down and 6. Pass is caught in the end zone for a touchdown, and it could be another victory to get to what I think is a really impressive thing here. If they win this game, all 4 years under Mangum will be double-digit win regular seasons, which I wouldn't have expected that. Notre Dame's a good team, but having a running back that bad, I wouldn't have expected them to actually have, like really good seasons every year and make the playoffs every single season. I mean, that is I think, really impressive. So Mangum, especially for how bad he was in the first year and even the second year as Notre Dame with the ball back, throwing it deep. That pass tipped and intercepted. And the return is going to be all the way to midfield. Man, this quarterback, I mean, that was a tip pick, but it still was thrown deep in double coverage on third down as the pressure for Notre Dame's defense gets in, and they're close to just sealing the deal here. 3rd and 19. Screen is going to get sack yardage back and get them to a 4th down and 8. 1:50 to go. Play action. Hit as he's throwing. It's intercepted by the Irish defense. And that is going to do it with another 1st down. They'll go with the keeper. There's your first. And Notre Dame is going back to the playoffs. Every year of Mangum's career, they will make it. And like I said last season, they've steadily made it further every single year. 1 and done, then 1 and 1, then semifinals. The trend says they'll go to the championship this year, but can they get past Texas in the Fiesta Bowl? They did get a 1st round bye, so they just snuck in as the number 4 spot, got the 1st round bye, and they're facing off against Texas. They beat Texas when they were the number 1 team in the country. Can they do it again? Right now it's 14-7. And to start the second half, Notre Dame losing, but they got the football in a 3rd down and long situation as they'll throw for a pass that's way shy of the marker, and they'll have to punt it away. But what I will say is I would have liked to have CJ Carr for another season, because this quarterback we have, I think, is way worse. I feel like he's thrown way more awful interceptions this season that we've watched than Carr did in like all 3 years. Not to say Carr was perfect, but I mean, he wasn't nearly as just frustrating to watch as a completion here. Notre Dame got the football back pretty quickly, and now with a still 7-point deficit, he will get sacked. 3rd and 17 as he's going to throw, and he's rolling, and he's sacked again. He's just not doing really anything right, it feels like, as Texas takes it back over. Great field position. 3rd down and 3 from midfield. Bubble screen. He's met in a great tackle to force 4th down, and Notre Dame's offense will have it again, and an incomplete pass. 3rd down. Will it be 3 and out once more? He'll throw, and in the face of pressure, out of bounds, and another 3 and out, as Texas only going to be able to stop them for so many possessions. I mean, you got to do something on offense. You're not going to be able to win putting up single-digit points on the playoffs as a broken tackle and a stiff arm. He gets 9 yards on the play in Texas. 2nd and 1. Pass caught for a 1st down. As we are inching closer to the 4th quarter, a run play is going to get a broken tackle and a big run and a 1st down. 27-yard line, 2nd down and 11 as they go screen. He's gonna get a solid gain to 3rd and 4. They're in field goal range, so already in position to make it a 2-score game, and even though the sack comes in, it's still gonna be a pretty makeable field goal from 42 out. He knocks it through, and a 10-point deficit as the 3rd quarter is just down to 30 seconds to play. Mangum really hasn't even touched the football at all, it feels like. As we go 1st and 10, they'll throw again, and it's intercepted! And this quarterback is so bad. Oh my goodness. I mean, I've watched some bad quarterbacks. I mean, he's far from the worst that I've seen. I've seen some bad quarterbacks in my time, but my goodness, this dude is awful. As we go 4th down, Texas going for it, and they'll get the 1st down, and they are at the 11. And things are slowly falling apart for this Notre Dame team, because even the defense, I think they were a little tired because their offense has been off the field just as fast as they get back on it. Throwing into the end zone and a diving grab for Texas, and a 17-point lead with 8 minutes to play. Mangum finally touches the ball, but he loses 2 as it's 3rd down and 12. As they'll throw over the middle short, and it's just going to be a punt. They punt it with 7 minutes to play, down by 17. I mean, I get you're backed up, but also you're down by 17 with 7 minutes to play against Texas. Got to do something here as it's 3rd down and 9. They'll throw, and 3 and out for the defense will be forced at least. So you get maybe one more try at this. You got to play it perfect the rest of the way. Mangum on the carry. He'll get about 10 yards, so there's something, but probably can't run the football all that much more the rest of this game as they'll throw for a wide open man. And if that pass were better, he wouldn't have had to dive for it. He would have had a lot more room to run. That's going to be completion for another 1st down. as you can settle for a field goal here if you have to, because you do need one field goal, but you'd like to get the touchdowns first. As with 4 minutes to play, wide open man underneath. Texas is just going to probably be playing this over-the-top defense, not allowing anything big to happen. They'll allow all these short plays as a sack. And he's got to be, getting that ball out quicker. 2nd and 16. That pass too high for Mangum on a check down. Incomplete. 3rd and 16. He'll throw. He's just going to throw it deep for the end zone. It's intercepted. And a pick with 3 minutes to play, down by 17, is going to put an unfortunate end to this one. As every year it was steadily a little bit better, and then CJ Carr leaves, and this quarterback stinks up the joint, and we lose in the first playoff game. Mangum doesn't have a great game, so we get to actually put a wrap on things there. Where Mangum, he did have a better yards per carry and was more efficient and everything. He just touched the ball less. It was the least amount of carries he had. Still 212, which is nice because he got the ball over 200 times every single season and cumulatively had about 1,000 career touches. But here's his career stats. This is what he was able to do in 54 games at Notre Dame as a starting running back. 942 carries, 2,800 yards, 28 touchdowns, a on-the-dot 3 yards per carry average, fumbled 17 times, and he had 31 carries of 20 plus, which I also think is pretty, that's more than I would have expected, especially for how unexplosive he was as a runner. But if you want to compare that to what some other running backs cumulatively have done in their career, you can look at that here. But we gave him everything we could to succeed. He failed to get a 1,000-yard season. He failed to get to an 80 overall. He failed to do a lot of things. He wasn't good. He didn't hold them back too much because they still were a playoff team, double-digit wins every single season, and even were one step away from winning a national championship potentially if they would have gotten past Oregon, and we'll see what would have happened there. But I hope you guys all enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of a video like this. If you'd like to see something like this with wide receiver, I already did quarterback, like I said. Check that out if you haven't. But now we have running back. We could do receiver. We could do other stuff like this. Let me know what other ideas you have. And like, comment, and subscribe, as I hope you all enjoyed it. And I will see you guys all in the next one.